Hey, what's up guys, Will here for GSM Arena. A few months after the release of the Galaxy S20, Samsung has come out with a leaner and more affordable version, the Galaxy S20 FE or Fan Edition. So what do the fans get here, and what sorts of trade-offs come with a lower price? Let's find out in our full review. According to Samsung, the Galaxy FE is a smartphone built for the fans. Not sure what that means exactly, but it does bring premium features like a flagship chipset and high refresh rate screen for a competitive price. Not all Galaxy FEs are the same. There's a 5G capable version which uses a Snapdragon 865. Ours is the 5G model, and it has this smooth cloud navy finish. Overall it looks elegant, though you will notice that the back is made of plastic here, not premium Gorilla Glass. The frame is aluminum though. And you still get full IP68 water and dust resistance you'd expect from a high-end Samsung phone. On the front is a flat 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display with a small punch hole for the selfie cam. The resolution is a bit lower than the regular S20 at 1080p, but it still brings that fast 120Hz refresh rate. And it's worth noting that if you turn the regular S20's display to its fast 120Hz refresh rate, its resolution would dial down to 1080p as well. The high refresh rate makes scrolling and moving elements on screen look much smoother to the eye. It isn't adaptive to content like some other solutions we've seen though. As you'd expect from a Samsung, the Galaxy S20 FE's AMOLED is great, with nice contrast, super deep blacks, and vivid colors. You can adjust colors to be fairly accurate to specific color spaces and settings, and brightness is just as good as the other S20 models. We measured 400 nits maximum with the manual slider, and it boosts up to 820 nits when in auto mode in bright conditions. Unlocking the phone is done with an optical under-display fingerprint reader, rather than an ultrasonic one like you'd find on other Samsung flagships. This isn't the fastest reader around, but it is quite reliable. For audio, the Galaxy S20 FE has a stereo speaker setup, with one bottom-firing speaker and the earpiece acting as the second one. It's quite nice. The phone scored a good loudness rating in our tests, and the sound is clean, with well-defined highs and decent lows. Unfortunately, this device that's built for the fans doesn't include one of the fan favorites, a 3.5mm headphone jack. You'll have to buy a USB-C adapter if you want to plug in. Your storage is expandable though, on top of the 128 or 256 gigs on board. The S20 FE's interface is Samsung's latest One UI 2.5 over Android 10. It's the same as you'd find on the other Galaxy phones. You get support for gesture navigation, as well as a system-wide dark mode, which can be configured for certain times of the day. Edge panels give you quick access to customizable shortcuts by swiping on the edge of the screen. It also contains useful features like the toolbox. And there's something called Smart Pop-Up View. It allows apps to appear as a floating bubble when they have a notification for you. Clicking on this will open a floating window, great for multitasking. And there's a game launcher that groups all of your games in one easy-to-find place and provides you some interesting stats for your gaming. Under the hood of our Galaxy S20 FE is a flagship-grade Snapdragon 865 chipset, and it provides support for 5G networks. However, the 4G-only version will come with either a Snapdragon or Exynos chipset, depending on the region. Performance here is excellent, as you'd expect from this level of hardware. Benchmark scores aren't quite chart-topping, as the newer Snapdragon 865 Plus exists, but you wouldn't be disappointed here for intensive tasks or gaming. The performance is also quite consistent, and we didn't notice any significant throttling due to heat. Powering the Galaxy S20 FE is a 4500 mAh battery, the same capacity as the S20 Plus and the Note 20 Ultra. This phone aced our battery life tests. With the display set to 120Hz, it was able to score an awesome 110-hour endurance rating. And turning the refresh rate down to 60Hz resulted in a bump up to 118 hours. The Galaxy S20 FE supports fast wired charging up to 25 watts. However, the phone comes with a 15-watt adapter in the box. With it, we were able to charge the phone from the dead battery to 37% in half an hour. Not terribly slow, but not very impressive either. There is support for 15-watt wireless charging too, as well as reverse wireless charging, where you can use the S20 FE to charge other devices. The Galaxy S20 FE has the same 12-megapixel main camera with OIS that you'd find on the other S20 models. Its other two cameras are different though. Its 12-megapixel ultra-wide cam has smaller pixels, and there's an 8-megapixel 3x telephoto cam. During the day, 12-megapixel photos from the main camera are sharp, detailed, and noise-free. They're very similar in quality to those from the Galaxy S20 Plus, though colors aren't as punchy here. The S20 FE's portrait mode produces okay results. The edge detection can get confused by more complex backgrounds, but in more straightforward scenarios you get good subject separation. In a fashion similar to the main cam, 12-megapixel ultra-wide photos have more restrained colors than you get from the Galaxy S20 Plus. Dynamic range is on par though, and the results from the Fan Edition are actually a bit sharper. The telephoto camera outputs images at 3x zoom, but these come out in 12 megapixels, so there is some upscaling involved. Sharpness is still decent though, comparable to the S20 Plus's telephoto, and the noise performance is better here. In low light, images from the FE's main camera are quite similar to those from the S20 Plus. Highlights around light sources aren't quite as well contained as on the Plus model. The FE has a bit more detail, and more noise as well. If you switch on night mode, the results are almost identical to those of the more expensive model. You get the same level of detail and hardly any noise. Highlights are well preserved, and you get a boost in the midtones. Nighttime photos with the FE's ultra-wide come out a bit better than those from the S20 Plus. Colors are more saturated and there's lower noise. However, the S20 Plus does have more preserved detail. With night mode on, the FE's ultra-wide is flat out superior to the S20 Plus, with consistently better sharpness. When zooming at night with a telephoto, the FE produces better results as well, with improved detail, lower noise, and wider dynamic range than the S20 Plus. The difference isn't as pronounced with night mode on though. Both produce some pretty good photos. The Fan Edition selfies are taken with a 32-megapixel front-facing cam, and there is no autofocus here. These come out at 10 or 6.5 megapixels, depending on the crop, and the quality is decent. You get well-detailed images with pleasing skin tones and nice dynamic range. Videos can be recorded with the main camera in up to 4K at 60 FPS. The quality is adequate, with likable colors and good dynamic range, but sharpness and detail are inferior to the other S20 models. The same can be said for the ultra-wide cam, which can record in 4K at 30 FPS. There's pleasing colors and wide dynamic range, but sharpness leaves more to be desired. Zoomed 4K videos from the telephoto cam are great, comparable to those from the S20 Plus. Colors are on point, dynamic range is wide, and there's plenty of fine detail. Electronic stabilization is available in all modes on all cameras. On the main cam it works great. We had a less than pleasant experience from the ultra-wide though. The frame rate isn't steady with the stabilization on, and you get some jerky movement every now and then. The telephoto is somewhere in between. The frame rate is constant, but is still a little shaky. So that's the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. You get a water-resistant build, a smooth 120Hz Super AMOLED display, nice stereo speakers, excellent battery life, wireless charging, a flagship chipset, and a great triple camera setup that's for the most part comparable to the more expensive models. You do get some downgrades here and there though, like the plastic back panel. 4K video recording has less detail too, and we've seen better selfie cams from Samsung. Plus, you only get a slow 15-watt charger in the box. But the upside here is the price. It's way cheaper than the S20 Plus, especially if you compare the 5G versions. This kind of value was enough for the Fan Edition to earn our full recommendation. Thanks for watching guys, stay safe and see you on the next one.